let's switch gears and let's go into MMA.
Let's do it.
MMA, we have Strikeforce. Strikeforce.
Yeah, November 7th.
November 7th.
Excellent card, dude.
I can't wait for that card.
Dude, I can't wait. You have Jake Shields.
Yep.
Versus Mayhem Miller.
Yep.
You're going to have Brett Rogers versus Fedor. Right. And Brett Rogers is going to win that.
You think so?
I think he's going to do it, man. This guy is hungry, man. He has nothing to lose.
How much credit do you have on it? If he gets knocked out.
Huh?
How much credit do you have on it?
I'll put whatever.
Really?
I think he could do it. I have no... I don't think he's gonna like. Well, I don't think he's gonna be afraid of Fedor. I think look at this guy's hungry, man. This guy quit his job and working from Sears to become an MMA fighter full time, and he's won fights that everyone counted him out in, and he's performing. And Fedor right now, Fedor is on top of the world right now, and he's probably. I don't think he's overlooking Rogers, but he knows he could beat Rogers. And in Rogers, he's just hungry, man. I think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to be afraid of Fedor. I think he's going to come after him looking for money, looking for a paycheck. That's what he needs.
Now, did you say something? I heard that Fedor got married?
Yeah, he got married. He had some old school ceremony. He was wearing a cape and a crown and all that. It was pretty cool looking.
Now, is his mindset going to be there for the fight?
I don't know. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's overlooking Rogers, but I don't think he's taking him that serious because he's beaten people in their primes and he's beaten people that are just really, really good. He doesn't know Rogers. Rogers, had 5, 6 fights, maybe 4 or 5 fights? Mm-hmm. Who can really figure out a fighter in 4 or 5 fights? You can't. Roger has the advantage here. He has nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Let's say if Fedor does win.
Yeah.
Who do you see next in line?
There's really nobody there. Unless they bring back that, what's his name, Silva, that big dude? Bigfoot Silva, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Bigfoot Silva.
They could do him there. They got Verdum if he's still there. I don't know if he's still there. I mean, I don't see anybody in Strikeforce. Fedor's running from the world. And that's it. They're going to have to go look for some bigger names.
Now, why isn't it that it's hard to find names out there now?
Because there's so many organizations out there that are willing to put good matches together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not only that, those matches are going to carry into title fights for a lot of these people. And these people want title fights. They want the bigger checks.
So my question
I think other companies are paying as well as UFC. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the exposure, I think they're paying as well as UFC. And UFC is not doing enough to help out some of these fighters who can get the same checks as somewhere else.
But what if... I mean, so you're saying that there's only a handful of well-known fighters that can actually compete? Where's everybody else at? I mean, this is the almost the most watched sport.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Almost more than boxing.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me you can't find somebody that might be good enough to
fight who? Fight Fedor or just to fight?
To fight Fedor was my original question, but it sounds like now to fight anyone.
Well, not really not to fight anyone. It's just the problem is just certain groups are just they're too picky on who they're picking. Like I know Dana White's very picky on who he picks.
Right.
He thinks that the ones he picks are the very best. I've seen other fighters in other organizations that will whoop half of the UFC stars, but he says that they're not that great.
But okay, so I mean, what about this then? If it wasn't for Belfort, coming back, who would have been next in line for Silva?
Nobody. They would have made up a catch weight and they would have had GSP, and GSP would either won or lost, whatever. It would be an exciting build up, and then it probably will go down as a pretty lame match.
Wow.
Because UFC is, don't get me wrong, I love UFC. UFC is good, but their main events do not match up to their undercard matches.
Speaking about UFC, when did Forrest Griffin stop running from UFC 101 to sign a deal to take Mark Coleman's place and fight Tito Ortiz?
I don't know, but I think he's going to beat Tito.
I want to go there and start making T-shirts saying "Run, Forrest, Run."
That would be good. I think he'll run right through Tito too.
You think so?
I think so.
Really?
I think so. We haven't seen... I thought that was a big mistake for... Well, it's not a mistake. Coleman got hurt. He hurt his knee. There's nothing he can do.
Right.
But I thought that was the best matchup for Tito. You haven't seen Tito in years.
Right.
He had back surgery. This guy hasn't really performed in a long time. You don't know what kind of condition it is. He could probably be working out. Yeah, you look good in the gym, but you don't know until you're in an actual fight. So I thought that was the best step for him was to fight Coleman. I thought that was a good, pretty equal matchup. And now with Coleman out and Forrest in, that's a problem for Tito. I think now Tito needs to step up whatever he's doing in training to match up to Forrest. I think Forrest has the upper hand here.
But why Forrest? I mean, couldn't it be anybody
Forrest
else?
had a major loss, and he was embarrassed, and he ran out. He looked dumb. He wants to make it up. I guarantee you he asked for the fight.
I think Tito's
he needs to step up. And I think this is going to be a fight for Forrest to step up, get his name back out there, get his popularity back out there. I think he was really embarrassed against Silva. He knew he didn't belong in the ring with that guy. This is his chance to show that he's still an MMA fighter, that he was once a champ and he could be it again.
Now, if he loses, what would be Griffin's fate?
Probably be done.
You think so?
I don't know. It depends on Dana. Dana just lets people go, man. But Forrest is a fan favorite, so I mean he'll probably get some other fights. They'll probably set him up with somebody else. There's a lot of fighters they could set him up with.
Or do you see him as a coach again for the Ultimate Fighter?
He probably could be. But you know how I feel about the Ultimate Fighter. I think it's a waste of time.
I think so too. I think it's just a way to exploit these and get more money in.
Let's talk entertaining. About that. I love it. It's entertaining, but I think it's just a waste of time for MMA, hardcore MMA fans, because they make it sound like these guys are nobodies, this and that. But if you've been watching some of these house shows and some of these little local promotions, you know these guys.
I fell for it. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Why is Nelson? I've never heard of this guy.
Roy Nelson. Yeah, Roy Nelson's awesome.
Fat Tubby is in the ring, and he's making, after he beats Kimbo, which was just a little rabbit punches on the top of his forehead because he used all of his 365-pound weight on him.
Yep.
That he started to order a Whopper to Dana White.
Yep. I'm telling you, Roy Nelson was going to do good. I had him as one of my picks to win the show. So,
you know, I like the show. I really do.
It's a good show. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's not an educational show.
But I don't like what it's for, what it represents.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is that they have the Ultimate Fighter. They have this show.
Right.
It's the heavyweights.
Right.
The winner of this show gets an opportunity to fight Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Brock Lesnar.
For a title.
Are you effing kidding me?
Dude.
None of these guys.
None of them.
None of these guys are on the same stage.
None of them.
As Brock Lesnar.
None of them.
You could line up all the guys on this show.
Yeah.
In no particular order. And Brock will kill every single guy one by one.
I'll give one fighter some credit. Regardless of how this guy's performing in the show or not, I think there's one guy crazy enough to handle Brock Lesnar and crazy enough to step in his face, and that'll be Wes Sims.
That big old John Deere looking guy,
the white dude. Wes Sims is crazy. I think he would step in with Brock Lesnar and give him maybe a 1-rounder or 2-rounder maybe. But nobody in that show can hang with Brock.
Did you see what Brock did to Frank Mir?
Yeah.
I mean, he practically gave him a new look, a new face.
It's all right, but I think Wes Sims is the only one who has experience enough to fight someone like that. So
I mean, he surgically, without any kind of incisions, rearranged Frank Mir's face.
I know. I've seen the WEC interviews. Woo. His face was swollen on those.
The guy looked like the Geico
for months.
The guy looked like the Geico caveman.
Yeah, I remember a couple months after that fight, he was still swollen.
Man, Brock, again, you can line up every single fighter on that show, and Brock Lesnar on the same night will just destroy and kick everybody's ass.
Yep. See, the heavyweight division is falling apart for Dana. And Dana can make all the excuses he wants. He can act like they have plenty of fighters. They don't. They don't have no one that can compete with Brock Lesnar, and people are going to soon find that out. They're going to have to go outside of the company and get new names. As much as I hate Bob Sapp, and as crappy as he is, if you were to bring Bob Sapp against Brock Lesnar, I guarantee you people will tune in.